Hi beautiful people! So last week, me and my friend Julian, who's a sex therapist, addressed this terrible article from biblicalgenderroles.com titled Why a Wife Should Endure Painful Sex with Her Husband. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it, and I know a bunch of you thought Julian looked like a Greek god. He is grateful for that. I hope you also listened to some of the things he said. He truly has a beautiful perspective from a straight guy addressing how he believes and knows that men should be handling and taking care of and honoring a woman's body. I hope women, it sets a standard for how men should be treating you and your body in sexual experiences. And any men that watched, I hope that it just encouraged you that exploring a woman's body, exploring the love of your life's body, your wife's body, is supposed to be an adventure. It's not supposed to be this selfish act of self-gratification. It's supposed to be the union of love, a physical representation of God's love on earth. If you are having sex with a woman that's crying, you are not experiencing biblical lovemaking. Simple as that. After I put out the video with Julian, I really started to research what it is to experience sexual pain as a woman. And pardon my ignorance, any of you that do experience this pain, I had no idea how terrible it can truly be.
All of a sudden felt like there was a piece of glass being shoved into me, and I'm not making that up.
If any of you men out there have a lover that experiences sexual pain, I truly encourage you to watch this video from BuzzFeed. It tells a story of a woman suffering vulvodynia, the wonderful, beautiful man that loves her, and the journey they went on together to explore her body and to make sex less painful for her. I do not care whether or not her boyfriend is Christian. At the end of the day, he reacted to her pain in a very Christian manner. He took it seriously. He researched. He honored her body. He did not force himself upon her and cause her body more pain and more trauma. No matter what you do, do not be reading biblical gender roles for any advice on Christian sexuality. All of you guys here on God is Grey know that I am about sex education, sex positivity, and learning to honor our bodies, be in sexual integrity as God would want us to. So don't give up, you guys. Don't become complacent and decide, woman, you deserve pain. Man, I get to do whatever I want. No, no, no. Life is a journey. Your sexuality is a journey. Your relationship is a journey, and you should be honoring that. And before we get into that, I'm so happy to say I've been getting emails from you guys, and I want more. If you have a story that involves your Christianity, your sexuality, your confusion, your fear, you being a virgin and saving yourself, you having a traumatic experience, you living happily ever after, whatever it is, I want your stories, and I'm looking for diversity. So if you want to be a part of this project, please send me an email with your age, sex, location, and then your relationship status and how long you've been that way. I am keeping this project a little on the DL just so it can be a secret, but I promise I would never put out any of your information, any of your stories without your permission. So if you guys love what we're doing here on God is Grey, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, donate to my Patreon if you can, and without further ado, here is my conversation with sex doula Isabella Frappier.
I feel so much pain reading this, thinking about all the readers that experience these same things, and then they're encouraged and fueled by his words to keep enduring it.
So this is the wonderful Isabella Frappier.
Hello!
I wanted to introduce you guys to her because she has a lot of expertise in this field, and she, I knew, would be someone that could be really insightful and empathetic even towards this author. Remains anonymous.
Yeah.
You know, if you really want to be bold about the crazy things you're saying, maybe be brave like us and put your face out there.
I use my real name because I stand behind what I say. Like,
yeah.
I really mean it.
And also don't use the name Solomon, because Solomon is the most erotic figure in the Bible. If you really want sex advice only from the Bible, read Song of Songs. You will know how to make love to a woman. There is one man in there who slept with thousands of women that is erotically reveling in love, in love making with a woman.
Not to be confused with this guy also going by Solomon.
Yeah.
Like a prophet, and he says, in his bio thing, he says, I don't have a God complex. I'm like, all right, Solomon.
I think if you say I don't have a God complex, you have a God complex. We kind of looked into his biography and his study and his research of female anatomy. What kind of expertise did you glean that he has in this area?
So from the limited context I have of his blog, I can't see any education he has around like female anatomy or sexual health. In fact, some of his statements are really inaccurate.
What inaccuracies did you see in his statements?
I mean, the main thing that is so hurtful to me that he projects, he tries to normalize pelvic pain in women. While it is unfortunately common, it's not normal, and it's never normal to have pain during sex. I feel that sex should be seen more like collaboratively and as this like beautiful joint experience and adventure that you can communicate about together, express together. One of the things that's really crucial for good, healthy sex is communication. If you are having any kind of physical pain, that should be communicated to your partner. When I was reading this, I was just thinking, if I was a man and I was having sex with a woman and she was in pain and she was putting on this beautiful show like he's describing, where there's no way to realize she's in pain, I would be so sad to realize that. Reading this article, it puts so much pressure and expectation on men that they need to be able to do all of this by themselves, and I would feel really alone in it.
I think also there's this misconception in the Christian community that women don't deserve pleasure. He alludes a lot in this article to women being made for man, women being made from man's rib, and we are there for his sexual gratification, and therefore we must provide that. But would you address what the clitoris is for and what purpose it serves?
Pleasure!
What other purpose does the clitoris serve?
Literally nothing. Clitoris is only designed for pleasure and nothing else. It has zero other biological purpose. Unlike the penis that has multiple other biological purposes, such as urination and procreation, that's all the clitoris is there for, pleasure. If you believe in the Bible, you believe God didn't make mistakes. And the clitoris is placed in such a way that during classical penis and vagina sex, it's really hard for the clitoris to not be stimulated.
So, hypothetically, let's say you have a man that is saddened to know that his wife is experiencing this kind of pain. What kind of moves can they make towards making this a pleasurable experience for her and them both?
Okay, so a couple of things. First, you can try to address it at home. So my first question, I'm just like pretending y'all are like a client of mine.
There you go.
My first question is, does she experience the same pain during masturbation, if she engages in that, or any kind of self-pleasure or self-exam, because that's a great thing to do for your physical health, self-exams. If she doesn't, then that's looking like an issue between the couple that can be communicated. Communication.
Well, if someone is experiencing, whether it's masturbation or your partner stimulating like digitally, and you're experiencing pain in that, what would that indicate?
It could be a variety of different things. It's like probably some form of vaginismus. The author, I guess we can call him at this blog, often references women going to the doctor with pelvic floor pain. I'm just going to broadly use the term pelvic floor pain, which I know is going to experience a lot of different discomforts and disorders. They're often misdiagnosed, misunderstood by the medical community. So I'm going to broadly use the term pelvic floor dysfunction.
Okay.
He references her going to the doctor and then saying that's normal, which is really painful to me because I've had so many clients have the same experience.
Yeah.
And they feel dismissed. They feel misunderstood, they feel unimportant, and it's actually not really the doctor's fault in a way because they just don't have enough education around it.
Let's talk about long-term versus short-term vaginal pain.
So one of the things that he addresses in the article is that there are two different types of vaginal pain. There are a lot of different types, but we'll just go with his thing. So one of the causes he gives for like short-term pain is for some vagina owners, if they experience like a few weeks or a few months in between penetration, their vagina can become tighter and there can be some discomfort. So if it's been a little time and you're a vagina owner that experiences this tightness and discomfort, communicate that with your partner. Hopefully they're really happy to receive that information. They're like, yay, cool information about your body. That's awesome for me.
Yeah.
They can be increased foreplay time, maybe some use of lube, if that's something that you want to
I know
explore.
This man never even brought up lube.
I'm like,
Lube
let's bring lube up.
Yeah. Lube is very important to
Yeah.
use, like, for a lot of people.
There's this amazing product called Awaken by Foria, which is a pre-lube. So you put it on your vulva, I think like 20 to 30 minutes before sex, and it can really help a lot of different pelvic floor dysfunction, including vaginismus, and it can increase self-lubrication, and then you could use lube. If you care about your partner and you care about having a beautiful union, you can communicate with them and use some of these different tools to have a beautiful experience where no one's having to grin and bear it. There are some types of long-term pain that women or vulva owners can experience. A lot of people see like a physical therapist. If they have back pain, you can see a physical therapist for vagina pain as well.
That's awesome.
So there's amazing things you can do, but sometimes part of that treatment is abstinence from penetration. There's so many ways to explore pleasure with your partner that don't involve penetration. There's mutual masturbation, maybe massages, like a central massage you could give each other. There's oral sex, you could 69. There's so many amazing ways you can enjoy sex with your partner that aren't penetrative.
Yeah. And I know some of you very legalistic Christians might be butting these ideas, and I've heard that oral sex is also an abomination. FYI, there's no biblical foundation for that. Again, read Song of Songs, listen to how Solomon, the real Solomon, addresses and explores a woman's
so
body.
Funny that this guy calls himself Solomon.
I know, it's so ironic. This man, this author of this article, goes into coercion.
Yes.
He's taking Bible verses to manipulate. What is a healthier way to get sex from your partner?
There's so many beautiful ways to inspire your partner to want to have sex with you instead of coercing them. If you're a man and your female partner isn't wanting sex, you can tell for whatever way that she's not wanting sex that evening. Try maybe helping her around the house, doing the dishes, taking some stuff off of her plate. Say, go have a bubble bath. Like, let her indulge herself and connect with her body and her senses, and see maybe if she feels a bit more inspired, you could offer a massage. You could communicate maybe that you would like to be sensual with her without the expectation of sex, and see where that goes. You're gonna hear me say this a million times. It always comes back to communication.
I did want to bring up the idea of biblical sex.
Yes.
Isabella and I are both familiar with the Bible. I'm a Christian woman, and you've read the entire New Testament.
Yes, cover to cover.
There you go. What do you perceive, first from your objective view, is biblical sex?
My main view of it was the sacredness and the connectedness.
In an ideal world, yes, you're giving fully of yourself to someone that is giving fully of themselves to you. And if one of you is having an out-of-body experience, disconnecting from the body in order to endure the pain, then neither of you is in communication with God during your sexual experience. You are not aligned with each other. You are not able to revel in one another's love in a physical way. It's not an expression of love. It is an expression of selfish desire. We talk so much about if you live in the flesh, that you are just self-gratifying. There's nothing more self-gratifying than forcing your partner to have painful sex.
Being in pain is real and it's legitimate, and it's not something that is selfish to communicate, and it can be so hopefully easily addressed. Not all sexual dysfunction can be easily addressed, but it can be addressed and it can be treated, and it's not selfish to want to be in pleasure.
I really hope you guys enjoyed this conversation with Isabella. I really hope that it's helped helped you reconsider the way you view your Christian sexuality. Please tune in to the podcast I did with Isabella and search it on God is Grey on Apple, Google, Spotify, and more. I'll link resources from Isabella below. And that's it. We love you guys. God bless.